Darkness swallows the land before dawn, but the air is already alive with whispers of danger. The grasslands stir, each blade heavy with dew, masking movements both silent and deadly. What happens when survival depends not on strength alone, but on the fragile balance between fear and courage? What choices kept our earliest kin alive when the night belonged not to them, but to predators united by hunger? And what can these ancient struggles teach us about the packs we face in modern life? The unseen threats that stalk us still. The first light stretches across the horizon, bleeding into the mist that clings to the earth. From the shadows emerges a small band of early hominids, their bodies lean and restless. Their eyes, wide with instinct, scan every shifting branch, every ripple of grass. They move not as hunters, but as prey, aware of the pack that trails them. To survive, they must weave themselves into silence, each step deliberate, each breath calculated. The savanna is not empty. It is alive with predators, hyenas, wild dogs, saber-toothed cats, all bound by a single law strike together, overwhelm, devour. The band descends toward a dry riverbed, hoping the shallow banks will give cover. A childlike figure lingers, distracted by the glimmer of stone, but a sudden gesture from an elder halts curiosity. The ground trembles faintly beneath distant paws. The pack is near. Not one predator, but many, each voice raised in chilling chorus. The hominids crouch low, their bodies pressed into mud hearts, thundering as shadows appear above the ridge. The predators are organized, moving with ruthless rhythm, their eyes glinting like fire caught in amber. But the band is not defenseless. Their hands clutch rough stones, their arms coils of tension ready to hurl distraction if escape demands it. One figure grips a branch stripped of bark, more symbol than weapon, yet in desperation, even symbols gain power. The predators pause, testing the air, circling, waiting for weakness to break the fragile wall of silence. A moment stretches like an eternity. Then, chaos erupts. One predator lunges, fangs flashing, only to be met with a rain of stones and shrieks of defiance. The band scatters not in panic, but in a rhythm born from countless escapes before. They vanish into tall grass, weaving paths that confuse pursuit, while one elder lingers, waving branch and voice to draw the attacker's gaze. His stance is not of conquest, but of sacrifice, an ancient echo of the shield we still hold for one another in crises today. The predators chase, but hunger is impatient, and unity falters. The pack divides, confused by false trails. Dust rises, screams fade, and silence creeps back across the riverbed. The band reunites beneath a twisted fig tree, their breaths ragged, their eyes still wild. Relief does not bring laughter. It brings exhaustion, a reminder that survival is never triumph, only reprieve. Yet in their unity there is something more. In the shared grip of fear and the unspoken rhythm of movement, there is the first glimpse of what would one day become strategy cooperation society. These early escapes plant seeds that echo across time into our cities, into our conflicts, into the packs we still fear today, though their shapes have changed. The savanna does not forgive pauses. Even as the band regains its breath, beneath the gnarled fig tree, the horizon is already shifting. A new sound creeps across the plains, the low rumble of approaching hooves. Zebras, wildebeests, and gazelles surge together in restless herds, fleeing something greater than hunger, organized pursuit. From the trailing dust, a second predator pack reveals itself, leaner, faster eyes, sharp with relentless intent. They are not drawn to the hominids directly, but the line between prey and bystander is thin. One wrong move, one ripple of fear, and the hunter's attention will turn. The band huddles tighter, their backs pressed against the tree's rough bark. Every sense sharpens. Eyes flick upward, searching for fruit leaves, anything that could disguise them in the canopy. Fingers dig into the bark nails, splintering as if the tree itself might offer refuge. But climbing is slow, and predators thrive on hesitation. Instead, they sink deeper into the shadows, bodies pressed into stillness, attempting invisibility. It is not courage that keeps them silent, but raw instinct. Become stone, become grass, become unseen. The predators weave through the herd with terrifying unity, cutting off stragglers, striking from angles unseen. Blood scent rises in the air, carried by the breeze, sharp and metallic. The band does not watch with curiosity. They watch with memory, for they know the taste of being cornered, of being chosen. Their faces tense, their bodies vibrate with the ancient truth that survival is not a guarantee, but a gamble played at every dawn. When the hunt collapses into chaos and dust, one predator drifts too near. Its eyes catch the faint movement of a crouching figure. The moment holds, stretched taut like a snare. Then the wind shifts. The predator turns, lured back by the herd's panic, and the band exhales silently, their hearts pounding in unison. They live another moment, but survival has never been only about the present. Hunger gnaws again, and with it comes the question how to endure when food safety and time are always slipping away. The band moves on, following a dried gully that snakes across the land. It is a path both protective and dangerous, walls of earth, shielding them from sight, but also narrowing their escape. Shadows cling to the edges where snakes coil and vultures circle above, guardians of death's promise. Each step echoes the fragility of their existence, each glance a calculation of risk. As dusk approaches, the band reaches a clearing where the gully opens into sparse woodland. Here, the predators wanes, but new threats emerge. The forest is home to leopards, ambushers that strike not with numbers, but with silence. The band gathers stones into piles, arranging them as crude defenses, shaping boundaries against the night. Fire has not yet been tamed, but vigilance is its ancestor. One figure positions branches across the clearing's edge, not as true barriers, but as signals, an instinctive attempt to control space, to define safety. The night descends heavy and absolute. The predators prowl unseen, their eyes flickering at the edge of vision. The band curls close, bodies pressed together, warmth shared like a shield. Above, stars ignite across the sky, indifferent witnesses to the fragile struggle below. And in that silence, the truth resounds. Survival was never about domination. It was about enduring in the spaces between terror and reprieve, about facing the packs that circled in darkness. Then, just as we face them now in different guises, night breathes with unease. The forest whispers with movements unseen, branches swaying, though no wind stirs. The band lies coiled together, bodies trembling yet resolute, every ear straining for the sound that always comes before the strike. A rustle in the leaves, a snap of twigs, the slow padding of a hunter circling in silence. Unlike the daylight packs that overwhelm with noise and numbers, the night predator kills with patience. The leopard is near. The moonlight filters through broken canopy, painting silver shapes on the ground. A figure rises slightly, clutching a stone in each hand, fingers raw from gripping. His eyes pierce the shadows not in challenge but in defiance of despair. Across from him, another member mirrors the stance, their silent rhythm binding them. Together, they form a watch without language, guardians of a fragile circle where sleep is too dangerous to embrace. A low growl slithers through the darkness. The band tenses breath, caught bodies rigid. The leopard emerges, its form liquid, its muscles coils of shadow. It circles the clearing's edge, its gaze fixed on the smallest figure curled near the center. Instinct screams through the group, protect the vulnerable no matter the cost. Stones lift. Limbs tighten. The hunters within the hunted prepare to resist. The attack comes swift. The leopard lunges, a blur of muscle and hunger. But before its fangs strike, stones fly through the air, whistling with desperate force. One shatters against the predator's flank, another grazes its jaw. The leopard recoils, snarling, the sound tearing the night in two. In that instant of hesitation, the band erupts not in panic, but in unison. They rise together, arms flailing, voices raw with primal fury. Their cries echo through the forest, not words, but vibrations of survival. A storm of sound that momentarily blinds the hunter's focus. The leopard retreats into shadows, its eyes still burning, its hunger unquenched but delayed. The band collapses back into each other, their chests heaving, their bodies shaking from the surge of fear. Relief is not victory. It is survival carved from seconds won through instinct and unity. Yet, as silence returns, something shifts within the circle. The stones piled at the clearing's edge now hold a new meaning. They are not merely weapons thrown in panic. They are symbols of strategy, the first seeds of control over chaos. The band lingers on the act, their eyes meeting their hands, brushing the stones again and again, as if recognizing their power. What was once desperation begins to echo as memory, and memory is the root of learning. The night stretches, long, predators circling unseen, but the band endures. They endure not because they are stronger, but because they are together. In their unity lies the first myth of survival, the truth that fear when shared becomes strength. Their story is not one of triumph over beasts, but of persistence in the face of endless threats. And as dawn approaches, the forest quiet's shadows dissolve, and light seeps back into the world. The band rises from the ground, weary yet alive. Their faces marked by fear, but also by something deeper. A flicker of resilience, the beginning of what would one day evolve into courage. Because long before walls and weapons, before cities and armies, survival was forged in these moments, circles of trembling bodies holding against the night packs of predators beaten back, not with power, but with unity. And the echoes of that ancient lesson still follow us now as we face our own predators in modern forms, unseen, organized, relentless.